Hello children, we are discussing the chapter 10, reaching the age of adolescence. In my previous video, we have discussed about the secondary sexual characters. What are secondary sexual characters? The characters which comes or which present in a boy or a girl after birth due to the hormonal changes, due to the presence or due to secretion of hormones are known as secondary sexual characters. In boys, these secondary sexual characters originated in response to a sex hormone named as testosterone, and in females those secondary sexual characters will arise due to the response of two sex hormones named as estrogen and progesterone. These secondary sexual character involves the growth of hair in the armpit and in the pubic region, growth of hair or fine hair in case of girls on the face and the chest region in case of boys only. Next, in females menstruation begins. In males the body becomes, or in boys the body becomes more masculine. So these are certain secondary sexual characters on which we distinguish between a male and a female only by their physical feature. Physical features are also referred as morphology. Now in this video we are going to discuss about the hormones, the chemicals which are responsible for that. Other than sex hormones, our body have multiple other hormones as well. What are the major role of the hormones? Hormones coordinate the growth and development activities of a body. जो hormones है बच्चे वो secondary sexual characters के लिए ही responsible नहीं है. उसके अलावा जो एक पर्सन की ग्रोथ और डेवलपमेंट है उसको कोऑर्डिनेट करने का काम भी हार्मोन्स करते हैं. देयर इज अ स्पेशलाइज्ड सिस्टम प्रेजेंट इन आवर बॉडी व्हिच इज नोन एज हार्मोनल सिस्टम, व्हिच वर्क्स फॉर द कोऑर्डिनेशन, फॉर द ग्रोथ, फॉर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ आवर बॉडी. सो फर्स्ट विल डिस्कस व्हाट आर हार्मोन्स. Hormones are the chemical substances which coordinate the growth and development of a living organism, which coordinate the basic life processes of a living organism. Now here term arises, what are life processes? The basic processes which are required by a living organism to live is known as or are known as life processes that you are going to study in your class 10th. Life processes are, basic life processes are digestion, respiration, reproduction, excretion. These are life processes. You have studied few of them in your life, if you're in smaller classes, as well as some of them in our 8th class as well, like reproduction. We had studied the reproduction in animals in class 8th. So these are the life activities, these are the life processes of a living organism. So to coordinate them we require certain chemicals, and those chemicals are known as hormones. So hormones are the chemical substances which coordinates the activities of living organisms and their growth. You can write and their growth and development as well. That is also correct. So these are the chemical substances which coordinate the activities of life or living organism and their growth. Next bache. Hormones are also referred as or known as chemical messengers. What do you mean by chemical messengers? They are the chemicals, that is why they are referred as chemical. Messengers, they take the signal from one part of the body to another. Hormones are target or site specific chemicals. Site specific means they produce in one part but they only work on their particular target site. They have their fixed target site. For example, testosterone will act on the testis and its effect are all over the body, like hair growth increases. How it occurs, bache? It passes to the blood, and blood in our body flows everywhere. So they are site specific and they are chemical messengers. Next thing, bache, glands. What are glands? Glands are the specialized tissues or organs. Glands जो है बच्चे वो specialized tissues या organs हैं we had studied in chapter cell that our body is made up of cells. Cells join together or constitute together to form tissues. Tissues join together or constitute together to form organs. Organs join together to form organ systems, and organ systems combined together as a whole will make a complete organism. So, glands are also the specialized tissues or organs that secrete certain chemical known as hormone. And that chemical, that hormone coordinates the activities of growth that we had studied, isn't it? बच्चे ग्लैंड्स क्या है? ये वो ऑर्गन है, ये वो टिश्यू है जिससे वो हार्मोन रिलीज होगा, जिससे वो हार्मोन सिक्रीट होगा. सिक्रीट मींस रिलीज होना, छोड़ा जाएगा. Those tissues or organs are known as glands. These glands are of two types. ये glands दो टाइप की हैं. One exocrine glands and another one is endocrine glands. First we'll discuss what are the exocrine glands. They are also known as glands with ducts. What do you mean by ducts? Pipes. But basically these are the glands which release their secretion, which secrete their secretions directly onto the target site. ये वो glands हैं बच्चे जो अपने secretions को directly कहां छोड़ती हैं? टारगेट साइट पर छोड़ती हैं. टारगेट साइट मतलब जहां पर उन्होंने काम करना है, उनके secretions ने वहीं पर जाएंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल बच्चे, salivary gland. Salivary gland are present in this region near chin बच्चे. And salivary gland release saliva. Saliva helps in digestion. That saliva is released directly into the mouth by that gland, by the duct. The saliva is not released in blood, and the blood does not take it to the mouth. बेटा, blood उसे mouth तक नहीं ले जाता. वो डायरेक्टली उनके पास एक पाइप होती है, पाइप के थ्रू सीधा कहां छोड़ देती है? माउथ के अंदर. सो दे रिलीज देयर सिक्रेशन ऑन देयर टारगेट साइट्स ऑन देयर ओन. खुद ब खुद अपनी टारगेट साइट तक पहुंचाने का काम इनका खुद का है, किसी और मीडियम की ये हेल्प नहीं लेती. Whereas the endocrine glands, the second type of glands, are known as ductless glands, जिनमें duct है ही नहीं. Ductless. How they does work? These glands release or secrete their secretions into the bloodstream. Why? Because बच्चे, blood is the liquid which flows in every part of our body. Blood is a tissue which flows in each and every part of the body. कैसे पता चलेगा? हल्का सा कहीं भी प्रिक करते हैं तो वहां से ब्लड निकलने लगता है. इसका मतलब ब्लड हर जगह जा रहा है बच्चे. ब्लड इज प्रेजेंट इन ईच एंड एवरी पार्ट ऑफ आवर बॉडी एक्सेप्ट हेयर. जो हेयर की टिप्स है वहां ब्लड नहीं होता बिकॉज इट्स अ डेड टिश्यू. नेल्स की जो टिप है वहां ब्लड नहीं होता बिकॉज इट्स अ डेड टिश्यू. Isn't it? That's why whenever we go for a haircut, it doesn't pain because it's a dead tissue. So the endocrine glands are the glands which do not have ducts. So how they release their secretion to the target sites? They release their secretion, they release their hormones to the bloodstream, and bloodstream carry those chemicals, carry those hormones from one part to another, from one part of their production to their target site. कहां तक बच्चे? टारगेट साइट तक छोड़ देता है. So these are duct containing glands. They have ducts. They release their secretion onto the target site on their own by the help of ducts, by the help of pipes. For example, salivary gland secretes saliva in mouth by its own duct. It does not release saliva in the blood. Digestive glands, they are present in our intestine, small intestine, large intestine. These glands release their juices known as digestive juices directly onto the intestine बच्चे, directly onto the site. इधर उधर ब्लड में नहीं डाल रही है, सीधा साइट पर छोड़ती हैं. डाइजेस्टिव जूस छोड़ा, डाइजेस्टिव जूस ने डाइजेस्ट किया, काम खत्म. Whereas endocrine glands release their secretion, release their hormones and enzymes into the bloodstream, and blood further will carry them to their target sites. Example. There are major 10 endocrine glands are present in our body, and that's why that system is known as endocrine system. It's a specialized system of our body which contains major 10 glands. Hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid gland, thymus gland, pancreas, testis, ovaries. So these are major endocrine glands. There are in total 10 glands endocrine glands which are present in our body बच्चे, and which release their secretions into the bloodstream. Study of the endocrine glands is known as endocrinology. It is a special branch of biology that deals with the endocrine glands and their secretions, their defects. Why? If hormones are released in excess, then there is also a problem. And if the hormones secreted in less amount, अगर ज्यादा जरूर रिलीज होंगे तब भी बीमारी होगी, लेस अमाउंट में रिलीज होंगे तब भी बीमारी होगी. So, the study of endocrine glands is known as endocrinology. We'll discuss the role of hormones in the reproductive functions. We have discussed, and we have discussed that thing many times, that onset of puberty will mark the beginning of reproductive maturity. हमने बच्चे बहुत बार बात की है इसकी कि जैसे ही प्यूबर्टी आती है बच्चे, तो मेल और फीमेल, बॉय और गर्ल में रिप्रोडक्टिव मैच्योरिटी की शुरुआत हो जाती है. बच्चे, दैट रिप्रोडक्टिव मैच्योरिटी इज बिकॉज ऑफ द हार्मोन्स रिलीज्ड बाय द सेक्सुअल ऑर्गन्स, रिलीज्ड बाय द प्राइमरी सेक्स ऑर्गन्स, दैट इज टेस्टिस इन केस ऑफ मेल्स एंड ओवरीज इन केस ऑफ फीमेल्स. ये जो बच्चे रिप्रोडक्टिव चेंज आ रहा है, ये क्यों आ रहा है? हार्मोन्स की वजह से. हार्मोन्स रिलीज होते हैं बच्चे, टेस्टिस से रिलीज होता है टेस्टोस्टेरोन, और ओवरीज से रिलीज होता है एस्ट्रोजन एंड प्रोजेस्टेरोन. अब बच्चे हम डिस्कस करेंगे ये हार्मोन रिलीज होते कैसे हैं, हाउ दीज हार्मोन्स आर रिलीज्ड. देन बच्चे, वी हैव अ ग्लैंड प्रेजेंट नियर आवर ब्रेन इन दिस रीजन ऑन द इनर साइड. दैट ग्लैंड इज नोन एज पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड. This gland is known as a master gland of the endocrine system. Why? Because बच्चे, this gland controls the other glands, their secretions and their stoppage of secretion. इसे master gland बोलते हैं बच्चे. क्यों? ये जो gland है ये दूसरी glands की, जैसे salivary gland है, thyroid gland है, parathyroid gland है, digestive glands है, उनके secretion को control करती है कि कब उन्हें secrete करना है और कब उन्हें secrete नहीं करना. इसलिए इसका नाम रखा गया master gland. Pituitary gland is commonly known as master gland. At the onset of puberty, जैसे ही एक पर्सन, मेल और फीमेल, प्यूबर्टी की एज में गए, this will release a hormone named as luteinizing hormone, और short form LH, कैपिटल में लिखा जाएगा, कैपिटल L and कैपिटल H, luteinizing hormone. This hormone is released by the pituitary gland, and pituitary gland is situated in brain. This hormone is released into the bloodstream because it is an endocrine gland, so it does not have any duct. यहां से टेस्टिस तक जाने की इसके पास कोई डक्ट नहीं है. ब्लड में डाल देगी बच्चे. किसको डाल देगी? लुटिनाइजिंग हार्मोन. That luteinizing hormone will then, through blood, will goes to the target site. What are the target sites? Testis in case of males and ovaries in case of females. Then this hormone will goes to the target site, that is testis and ovaries, in males and females respectively. It stimulates the testis in males to release testosterone, and it stimulate means activate कर देगा. Luteinizing hormone activates the testis to secrete testosterone in males and ovaries to secrete estrogen in females. तो बच्चे, इसने अपना काम कर दिया. ल्यूटिनाइजिंग हार्मोन रिलीज हुआ, ब्लड के थ्रू टेस्टिस रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स तक गया. रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स मेल और फीमेल में अलग अलग हैं, उनमें जो सेक्स हार्मोन्स रिलीज होते हैं उनको इसने स्टिमुलेट कर दिया. नाउ टेस्टोस्टेरोन एंड एस्ट्रोजन इन मेल्स एंड फीमेल रिस्पेक्टिवली विल गोज इनटू द ब्लड स्ट्रीम. दीज हार्मोन्स आर रिलीज्ड इनटू द ब्लड स्ट्रीम, एंड देन these hormones will move to the each and every part and work on the target part. जैसे बियर्ड मुस्टैच की ग्रोथ आने लगी. क्यों आने लगी? टेस्टोस्टेरोन रिलीज होने लगा प्यूबर्टी में, तो यहां पर आकर काम करेंगे. ग्रोथ, हेयर ग्रोथ बढ़ जाएगी. ठीक है. फीमेल में ब्रेस्ट की ग्रोथ होने लगेगी, मेंस्ट्रुएशन की बिगिनिंग हो जाएगी, पीरियड्स जो है वो स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे बच्चे. दीज आर द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द रिप्रोडक्टिव फेज. देन द हार्मोन्स विल ब्रिंग अबाउट द चेंजेस at the onset means starting of the puberty. Which hormones? Sex hormones. These are released by which hormone? Luteinizing hormone, and luteinizing hormone is released by pituitary gland. So that's how the glands are interconnected, by pituitary gland. Next बच्चे reproductive phase of life in humans. In males, the reproductive phase starts at the age of 10 to 12 years. But in few, it starts at 13 to 40 years of age. 10 to 12 generally case in the males. But then overall it is written as 10 to 14 years. Usually in males it starts at 13 to 14 years. You may write the 10 to 14 years as well. That's a broad term. But most of the cases it is from 13 to 14 years or 12 to 14 years in case of males, and in females puberty occurs early, that is 10 to 12 years of age. In women, the reproductive phase lasts up to 45 to 50 years of age. जो रिप्रोडक्टिव मेच्योरिटी है वो आ तो 10 से 12 साल में गई और रहती कब तक है 45 से 50 इयर्स तक. उसके बाद रिप्रोडक्शन नहीं कर सकती एक फीमेल. Whereas in males, in men, the reproductive phase starts at 12 to 14 or 10 to 14 years and it lasts up to the whole life. It lasts up to the death till that person will remain healthy. जब तक वो मेल हेल्दी रहेगा तब तक वो रिप्रोडक्शन कर सकता है, लेकिन फीमेल्स में ऐसा नहीं. तो दैट इज द रिप्रोडक्टिव फेज ऑफ लाइफ इन ह्यूमंस. It started due to the release of hormones, sex hormones, and it stops due to their secretion is stopped. जब उनका secretion stop हो जाएगा तो reproductive phase भी खत्म हो जाएगा. तो it is all controlled by hormones. So that is the reproductive phase of life in men or males and females. In males it starts at 12 to 14 years of age, that is the puberty, and lasts till the whole life if the person is healthy. And in females, it starts at the age of 10 to 12 years and will last up to 45 to 50 years of their age.